One, and we're live. All right, guys. It's Tuesday. Tuesday is our favorite day. You know why? Because we get to spend it with you. And today we have a little bit of a different call lined up today, guys. For some of you, this may be the first time that you've ever seen me go into all-out Ray mode. That's what I like to call it. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm getting said that I'm being frozen, but as long as you can hear me, then that's fine, okay? I really want you to be able to hear me. That's the important thing. So you were going to hear me just get into Ray mode, and this doesn't happen very often, but I want you guys to know that I am very, very, very passionate about what we do as a team. And as we close out this year, it's very important that we have this type of call. Okay, but before we go into Ray mode, I do want to send a special shout out to the two coaches on our team that hit Success Club 5 this month, and that is Alex and Steph. Alex and Steph have been the definition of consistency throughout the year, and they are definitely the coaches that we want to follow. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. So we also have a quick announcement. That's the Hammer and Chisel. You guys should know this. Hammer and Chisel came out today. That is a hot program. We are starting on Monday, guys. We are starting our Hammer and Chisel Challenge on Monday. We encourage you to be a part of it. Even if you feel like it's over your head right now, we still encourage you to be a part of it. They have modifiers in all the groups, and you dictate. You dictate how challenging this program is by the amount of weights that you pick. If you're at 5 pounds and that's challenging, then that's what you use. If you're at 10 pounds and that's challenging, then that's what you use. You want to go at this at your level. The important thing is to do your best to be a part of this group, because it's going to be an energy-filled group, and Steph and I are going to be at our best, and that's when we're in the group ourselves.
It's where the party's at.
You're going to be able to feed off it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so what we want to cover tonight, guys. And I'm going to be talking to you that are specifically on this call. So right now we have Monica, and we have Kimberly, and we have Sarah. And I want you to know that I am talking specifically to you. And for all those that are going to be watching the recording of this, I am talking to you through them. So every word that I say, I want you to hear. I want you to digest. And I want you to think about what it means to you, and how you can apply what we talk about tonight moving forward to finish out this year with a bang, and then to start next year strong. Okay? So I had a lot of stuff happen this weekend. We had a lot of stuff happen this weekend, and it's kind of funny how it all worked out, because I had some really interesting perspectives on my daily life that are going to apply to tonight's call specifically. So I'm going to start it off with what happened on Sunday. Okay, my family came in town. My sister and my mom, they flew into town, and every time we have any guests that come into town, we do our very best to get them to go to church with us. Like, that's a big deal for us. We want to be a positive influence on our community, on our family, more importantly. So our Thanksgiving meal, it was healthy food. We had a very well-balanced, healthy Thanksgiving. And on Sunday, we went to church, to finish out that whole mind, body, soul development. And the church that we go to, it's a very dynamic speaker that I love. His name is Pastor
Denzel
Miles.
Washington.
Yeah, he looks like Denzel Washington. That's how everybody looks like Denzel Washington. But his name is Pastor Miles, and he is an amazing speaker. And for those that that know that I'm involved in Toastmasters, and I'm really trying to become a more effective public communicator. Anytime I get to watch a good public speaker, I'm on the front row. And this last Sunday, he wasn't there. He was taking an extended vacation so he could spend with his family. And the next pastor in line came up to speak. And it's like two different vibes, guys. Pastor Miles, he's very positive. He tells stories, and he gets people excited for life. This other guy came on stage, and it was more about holding people accountable. To me, it was a more of a convicting delivery. It was asking you to take a look at your life, inventory your life, and asking yourself what the priority is, and questioning if that should be the right priority. So it really had people thinking about themselves. And after the sermon was over, I asked everybody, how did you like that sermon? And for me, I didn't really enjoy it. I really didn't. I like watching Pastor Miles. He's a great speaker. And this other guy, I just wasn't feeling the same energy that I normally do. But when I asked that question to my family, they had the exact opposite response. They said that they had a very solid take-home message, and they saw Pastor Miles last year. So they said that they enjoyed this guy better than they did Pastor Miles. And I was really surprised that they shared that with us. And I'm going to share why. I'm going to share why that was so important. So moving forward, this morning, I was in charge of leading our Toastmasters meeting. And our Toastmasters meeting, we have some very, very distinguished members in there. We have 2 ex-Navy SEALs. We have 3 pilots. We have commercial bankers. We have entrepreneurs, very talented field of gentlemen. And I'm part of the leadership council there. So every now and again, we come together and we try to figure out how to make the club better. Like, what are people coming to the club for? And how do we get people to be more engaged? How do we get people to contribute more? How do we get people to grow more? And we had a little powwow meeting because things haven't been running smooth in our meetings lately. So we had a powwow at the end of our meeting, and we're listening to our next president speak. And he's an ex-Navy SEAL. He was in the SEALs for 25 years. And you talk about leadership at the highest level. I mean, can you imagine what he's gone through, and the men that he's led, and the crisis situations that he's been a part of, and how he had to navigate these men through life and death situations, and taking those leadership skills and applying them to our club, to our Toastmasters club. So I'm sitting there and I'm just watching him. I'm like, man, I can learn so much from you. And if I could just learn a fraction of what you know, then I can take it back and I can talk to our team. I can talk to Monica, and I can talk to Kimberly, and I can talk to Sarah, and I can talk to everybody that's listening in on this call, and really lead them in the right direction. Now, granted, we're not in life and death situations, or are we? Maybe the people that we're helping are in these life and death situations. But what I realized was, in the year that I've been a part of this club, it's a very unique club, guys. And today it was Women's Day. We're an all men's group, but today it was Women's Day. So we had about 8 women, including Steph, as our guests, and we got to ask them for feedback on what they thought about the club, what they liked about it. And it was very interesting. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to bring this all together right now. The number one reason why people liked our club was because of the accountability. Because after every speech you gave, you had someone evaluating you with a no-holds-bar approach. If you did bad, you were bad. If you failed to prepare, they told you failed to prepare and you need to prepare better next time. Whatever you were missing, you were told. And members in this club really appreciated it because they're going there to get better and they want someone to hold them accountable. And that is the exact same thing that happened at the sermon this last Sunday is people were receptive because they wanted to be held accountable. And so it started making me think about my career as a Beachbody coach and all of my experience with people who have really broken through. And the reason they've been able to break through is because I held them accountable. I called them out on their shit. Excuse the French, but that's what it is. If someone gave me an excuse, I called them out on it. If someone said it was too hard, I called them out on it. And at the end of the day, isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we want? If we have taken the time to make a decision to move forward with our life and to take control of our life, and we've taken the time to create a vision of what we want, when it works, this is what I want. And we have made the decision to incorporate discipline into our lives and say yes to all the things that are going to get us closer and no to all the things that are going to move us further away. And we've taken action, on this one day at a time approach. That missing piece, that thing that we really want is accountability. We want someone to call us out on our shit because we've got a bunch of it. Each and every one of us on this call has a bunch of it. And we just need somebody to call us out. Whoops. Potty mouth. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. When you're on top of your game, when you're pressing play and you're meal prepping your meals, then you have permission to play that role. You have permission to call someone else out. And that's what your challengers want. Your challengers want you to hold them accountable. They need it, just like you need it, just like I need it. 21 days ago, I was feeling horrible about myself. My pants weren't fitting, and my bank account was getting really, really low. And I started looking at all my actions. I was like, man, you know what? I need my team to perform. I need my team to stay consistent with their invites. I need my team to stay consistent with pressing play, so they can be a product of the product, so they can share their story. But how am I going to motivate them? How am I going to inspire them? How am I going to hold them accountable if I'm not in the game myself? Why are my pants tight? Why is my bank account low? That's on me. That's on me. But I knew that as soon as I put myself in a better position, 21 days, that's what I looked at. I said, I got 21 days to clean my act up. 21 days of meal prepping, 21 days of saying no to margaritas and saying no to tacos, and my pants are feeling better. And my pocketbook is looking better. But more importantly, I'm able to have this conversation with you guys because I am doing what I need to do in order to say, yes, I can hold you accountable. Yes, I am checking everything off of my list. So I will accept your invitation to hold you accountable. Because I've had calls with you guys. I mean, I've heard you come up with some excuses. That's what they are, they're excuses. Okay, and I'm saying, you know what? Toss it out the window. Toss it out the window. There's really only four things. Four things, guys. And we covered them, and I'm going to cover them again. One, you make the decision to take control. You have to make that decision. And by being on this call, listening to this recording, you've made that decision. You've said, you know what? I've had enough. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of being out of shape. I'm tired of lack of energy. I've had enough. I'm taking control. Good job. Step one. Step two is having a vision. Okay, you've got control. You're in charge. Where are you going? What's it look like? You're determining your destination. Where are you going? What is your goal? You guys have done that. You guys have created a vision. The third thing is discipline. Okay, discipline. Now, I'm going to share something with you that is going to make your life so simple. We get caught up in situations where we get put into a paralysis by analysis mode. We think about all the things, all the decisions that we could possibly make. Something happens in our life. What do I do? Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? You've got two decisions. Yes and no. That's it. Yes and no. What's up, man? Do you know that our electronics, the computer that you're on, the TV that you're listening to, it's all based off of two digits, 1 and 0. It's a binary system, 1 and 0. And that's just like our lives. We have the power to say yes. We have the power to say no. Okay? Kimberly, a cookie comes in front of your plate. You say yes, or you say no. Okay? Monica, you gonna work out today? Yes or no? Sarah, you gonna make those invites today? Yes or no? Every decision that we make is either yes or no. Okay, so that simplifies a lot. Lastly, it's action. Okay, it's just action. Taking action every day. Now, when I was feeling bad because my pants were fitting too tight, I didn't get discouraged because they weren't loose the next day. Like, I knew it was a process. I knew that I just had to take it one day at a time and that it would all come together. Okay? All come together. We have to stay consistent. So when you get those 4 things, you've got to figure it out. You've got to figure it out. Now here's the last part though. Here's the last part. Give permission for someone to hold you accountable. Okay? Give permission for someone to hold you accountable. And when they do, don't get butthurt. Don't cry. Don't get mad. Don't get angry. And if you do, get over it. Okay? Because you need that. I need that. We all need that. And let somebody play that role. Now, the third story that I want to share, and this is going to be the most powerful one of the entire evening, right here. My sister came into town, and she has, let me kind of give you a background story. My sister has always wanted to open up her own hair salon. It's been a dream of hers since she got out of high school. And she's talked about it, she's talked about it, she's talked about it, she's talked about it, but she really never taken action. And so I've been encouraging her and I've been helping her. And right now, it's kind of magical how it all worked out. She bought a house in Austin about 5 years ago, and the value on the house has almost doubled. So she was able to get out a loan on the house to be able to start up her own salon. She found a studio location downtown Austin that fits her budget, and she's got the plans, and she's going through the business plan right now. So a big part of her trip was for me to help her out with her business plan. And so we're sitting down going through her business plan, and she's freaking out, pulling out her hairs because all the numbers don't make sense, and it's stressing her out a little bit. And she's just like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't do this. This is too hard. It's too stressful. And so we sit down and we talk about it. And I say, Erica, I said, look, what you're doing right now, you've got a really good position. She makes over $100,000 a year as a hairstylist in Austin. She has a very flexible schedule. Why would she want to do something else that's causing her stress? She's going to get paid less at the beginning, and she's probably going to have more headaches. Why? And I said like this. I said, Erica, check this out. Right now, you're in a position to where if you went on a vacation for 2 weeks, or if you went on a vacation for a month, you wouldn't make any money. Right now, you're in a position to where when you turn 40, she's 35 right now, when you turn 45, you're still going to be doing that same thing, and you're still going to be dependent on someone else. The life that you want to live and the game that you want to play, you need a business. You need a business. You need a source of residual income. You need a source of passive income. And so this stress that you're concerned about, everything not working perfectly, guess what? You got to get through it. You got to go through it. It's part of the process. It's what we call weeding people out. If you can't get through that, Maybe you don't deserve what's on the other side. That's part of the process. Monica, when you went through, you dropped over 30 pounds, were you doing the same thing that you were always doing, or did you have to do something different? Was there some stress involved? Did you have to get through that initial push? Was it super, super easy to change and to say no to the things that you would say yes to before? No, but you did it and you got to the other side. And because you made it through that, you deserved it. Sarah, was it easy, to change course, to try something new? Was there stress? Well, I know there was stress because I heard you on the phone. But it's worth it. Lots of tears. That period right there, that period, it's a test. It's a test. And you guys that are on this call, you guys that are listening to this recording, you're somewhere in there. You're somewhere in the beginning of the test and the end of the test. And you haven't made your way out. And you've got two options. Do you want to get through and see what's on the other side? Yes. Or do you want to turn back and be where you don't want to be for the next 10 years? No. What we do as coaches, guys, I'm just plain and simple right here. Our job is to hold people accountable. That's it. Give them a system. We kind of explain the directions, and then we hold them accountable. That's why we follow up. That's why we get on the calls with them. It's not going to feel right to hold somebody accountable if you're not doing what you need to do on your end. That's why I couldn't have this call before, because I wasn't doing what I needed to do. Here's the thing. You always have the power to choose. Yes, no. Yes, no. I constantly hear people say, I can't be a coach until I get that after body that I want. And that's total BS. You could be a coach the minute, the second that you're pressing play 3 times in a row, that you're meal prepping for 3 days in a row, because you put yourself in a position to hold people accountable. And guess what? If you find somebody that is on the path to lose 50 pounds, they're going to have to press play for, pretty consistently. They're going to have to meal prep pretty consistently. So for that span that it takes them to lose 50 pounds, they're going to be the best dang coach on your team, even if they don't have that after body, because they're right in the middle of the storm. They're going through it. They're going through the hardest part. And because they are, it gives them permission to hold someone else accountable. So I want to challenge you guys. I want to challenge you guys for the rest of this year. We all know that the beginning of the year is huge. Beginning of the year, people are knocking on your door. Knock, 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 knock. Will you hold me accountable? Nobody did last year, and I got to 2 weeks and failed. I need to try something new. I need somebody to hold me accountable. I want to challenge you to set your goals for the rest of the year. And put a different spin on them. Put a different perspective. Put a different perspective. Now, it's not just about you. Now, when you press play, when you meal prep, what you're doing is putting yourself in the right position, the feel-good position, to hold someone else accountable. And that's what they want. We could do all the marketing in the world. We could have the best campaigns. But none of this works until you feel confident telling someone you can hold them accountable because you're doing it. You've made the decision to take control of your life. You've seen what Beachbody can do. You guys are on social media. You've heard the stories. You've seen the stories. You've taken the time to write down a vision. What you want. When you get there, when it all comes together, what are you going to do with it? How do you want your life to play out? You know right now that it's as simple as yes and no. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Yes, is it getting me closer to my goal? No. Is it pulling me further away? And you know that it's just one day at a time. You got to string these 1 day at a time. 1 day at a time turns into 2 days, into 3 days, into 5 days, into 7 days, into 21 days. If you feel like you just need to get some momentum, that's the number, 21. That's the magic number, 21. Okay, you look at the rest of the month, and I'm telling you, we're on the first of the month. You got 21 days. You could get 21 days in before Christmas. You know what? Who's to say that you can't just go right through Christmas without, indulging in cookies, indulging in desserts, indulging in food? You have the choice. No one's putting it in your mouth. This last summer, I went to go visit my brother. This was after Summit. We went to San Antonio, and while I was there in San Antonio, I went from like 158 pounds up to like 168. Probably the heaviest I've been. 10 pounds. 10 pounds, the heaviest I've been. In probably about 3 years, and I blamed it on my brother when I left. And because he had Doritos, and he had sodas, and he had pizza, and we had burgers. And I said, this is your fault. And then he looked me in my eyes, and he said, you know what, that's funny. I'm the lightest that I've been in 3 years. It was like a punch in the face. I said, wow. He didn't put any of that food in my mouth. He didn't put it on my plate. That's why when my mom came this Thanksgiving, I felt good because it was an opportunity to redeem myself. Who said that we had to make a lot of food? Nobody. Who said that it had to be unhealthy? Nobody. We get to make the decisions. You get to make the decisions. You get to decide. So use the rest of this year. Set your goal. Tell yourself, I need to put 21 days together. I need 21 days so I feel right. So I feel good helping people the way they need to be helped. And that's with accountability. It's with accountability. I guarantee you, the next person that you help, the next person that you reach out to, ask them, do you want me to call you out when you're slipping? Do you want me to hold you accountable? And they are going to scream at the top of their lungs, yes, that's what I need. I need somebody to hold me accountable. I need someone to call me out on my doo-doo because I got a lot of it. You guys are amazing. Each and every one of you has a story. Each and every one of you has proven that you have what it takes to string 21 days together. We have an amazing program that just came out. We have an amazing part of the year use this next month to set that goal for yourself. Okay, get yourself back into action and give yourself permission. Okay, give yourself permission. You get 3 days together, high five, pat yourself on the back, say yes. Now I can call up that person that I haven't been wanting to call up because I feel bad. Give yourself permission to do it and tell them, hey, I know it's not easy, but I just did 3 days. Hey, I know it's not easy, but I'm on 7 days straight. Hey, I know it's not easy, but man, I put 21 days together, and oh my goodness, I feel in charge again. And I'm going to help you get through those 21 days. This is a very, very exciting time of the year. Steph and I, we've been grinding. We have. I don't remember having these kind of bags ever in my life. But the reason is because we see you. We see our team. You guys are on the edge. You guys are right on the edge. You're in this battle right here. You guys are right on the edge of breaking through. There's no better time to really break through and to be focused than at the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year is when you start qualifying for Success Club trips. It's when you start racking up. Everything resets at the beginning of the year. So you have the same chance as everyone else in our entire network of getting the prizes, making the trips, and getting the recognition. What do you have to do? Be consistent. Feel good about calling somebody out. Give yourself permission to play that role. You don't have to know everything about nutrition. You don't have to know everything about fitness. What you do need to know how to do is be consistent. Guys, we believe in you so much. We believe in your potential. We've seen so much growth in each and every one of you. And super, super excited for 2016. It's going to be a magical year. So let's finish out this year strong. And for all of you who are working up the courage to join us for Hammer and Chisel, remember, this comes down to a simple decision. Yes?
Or yes.
Or yes. Hey, we'll see y'all guys next week. Thank you so much for hopping on.
Bye, ladies. Have a good night. By the way, I loved all y'all's commentary.